So this is our early offense here. This is what we're going to run when we're in transition, just to get the ball moving a little bit, to get some action, to get some screens and some curls. We'll start with the point guard with the ball there. As she passes to the wing, we want to make sure that she runs in front of the guard there. We want to try to set a little bit of a rub screen. Might be maybe an illegal screen too. It's a moving screen obviously, but if you disguise it well enough, most of the time it won't get called. We want to try to make that as subtle as possible as we can though. Once the ball gets reversed, the guard she kind of cheats up a little soon there, but be a little more patient on that. When we get the ball back to the point, we tell our kids every time you catch a ball, always look to the basket. Always. It makes the defense change how they're going to guard you a little bit. But once you get it, if you don't have shot there, we're going to use that screen from the 4. We're going to turn the corner here. If we can get to the bucket, we want to try to get to the bucket. That's always the best way to try to attack any defense, is make them play you honest. If it's not there, though, we got to try to make sure we drag them down as far as we can. This particular point guard needs to probably get a little bit, a step or two further towards the baseline there. If we can hit that first curl, obviously we'll take it. If we don't have it, then hopefully the second curl might be the one that's a little more hard to guard. It's probably disguised a little bit better, might give us a little more open shot there. It's just something we can do quick in transition, gives us a quick shot. If we feel like we got the momentum a little bit, it's something we want to try to do and try to take advantage of. So now we'll talk about the 2 and the 3. Those are the wings. It doesn't really matter to us which side they're on. We tell the 2 to be on the right and the 3 on the left, but it's not anything that's a hardcore rule or anything like that. Once they catch the ball, they look inside right away, look for post. Rim runs is what we always look for first. Really, this first cut, though, you're just kind of a decoy. Against your teams that are maybe not as good defensively, that cut might be open, but most of the time it's going to get taken away. And that's kind of the point. The girl who initially catches the ball, she does a lot of running basically in this play to distract and take away from where we're really trying to go with the ball. Whether that's back to the point guard to open up the whole right side here to go screen and roll and attack the basket that way. Or if it's to open up the next girl who comes through here. So once she gets to that opposite corner, she is going to then come off a what might be a triple screen. Again, depending on how the defense guards you, will depend on what you do here. You might flare off of that if the defense tries to go underneath and take that wide open 3 on the weak side. But in this particular case, we're just showing the actual cuts. So they're going to be the curl. Again, hopefully they're probably more the distraction for the second curl that's coming behind them. But they're always going to empty out. So there's going to be a lot of running for the 2 or the girl who initially catches the ball in the wing here. But ultimately, it's designed to try to get the ball moving. And if that shot isn't available there, you can always swing back to the 4, the girl in the black shirt, and then all the way back over the other corner there. And that really might be where her shot comes from next time. So they always got to be ready for that next thing. So the next girl we'll talk about here is the 3. She's the opposite wing here of the ball. Her biggest priority right now is to try to set up her girl. She doesn't really do a great job here because there's no defense, but she has to start to get open as the ball is getting swung so that when she gets out there, we don't really break our rhythm here. It's kind of easy to do, obviously, with no defense. You just stand there and catch the ball, but you do need to work on L cuts and V cuts and different kind of cuts to help that kid get open over there a little bit. Their first look is that first cutter. Again, the idea is to, if they're open, give them the ball. And then you just got to play basketball from that point, read what the defense does, and make the appropriate cut. If that's not there, though, and most of the time it's probably not going to be, your job is to get that ball back to the point guard. Let that action go back to the other side of the floor, get ball reversal. We tell them they can set up a staggered screen here, but really you can set a double screen too. If you wanted to go down by the 5 there and kind of set a double screen for the 2 coming back up, that's okay, that's fine. But once that 2 guard goes by you, your job then is to follow right behind them, because there's a good chance that your girl is probably going to help off and try to take that curl away, especially if you score on it one time, which means then the second time when you come around, all the attention's going to that first cutter, and you kind of get lost in the motion there a little bit, and that shot right there at the elbow becomes wide open. Or you can drive to the basket. If you drive to the basket, again, the point guard, she kind of drifts in here a little bit, but she should drift to the corner, so you got to kick out there. And the 5 is on the opposite block if the other post decides to come over and help on that too. So those are 2 of the options there that the 3 can use. So with the 4, she's the trail. That's the girl in the black there. Her job is to find a position where she can actually get the ball reversed. So again, because there's no defense, she's pretty low here. Generally speaking, she's probably going to be out around that volleyball line there, which is fine because really her only job is to safely get the ball to the other side. Once she does that, she basically becomes a screener and does a lot of kind of the dirty work. So if you have a kid who is the one who is really good at screening and can really make herself wide and difficult to get around, this is kind of the perfect position for them. Ideally, you'd also like your 4 to be a fairly good three-point shooter, kind of be one of those trail bigs that can shoot the 3. That's really hard to guard. So she screens down for the point guard. Point guard comes back up. She immediately turns around and screens. Now, we don't roll on this because what she's actually going to do is she's going to set a second screen after the screen and roll here. And set up a kind of a triple pick here. And then immediately after that, we tell her that on that first curl, she doesn't really have to hit that girl. If she misses her, that's fine. But the second one is the one she needs to kind of headhunt a little bit and try to find and open that girl up a little bit. Once that second curl goes by, her job is to open up and reverse to pop out to, again, be the reversal. And she might actually also have a shot there. Or at least the opportunity to maybe drive and kick to the corner, or just take that 3, which is why we like to have our 4 also be a pretty good three-point shooter as well. It's really helpful. It makes it really, really difficult to guard because you can't help off so much. The last person we'll talk about here is the 5. You don't really see it here in this action, but her job really is to run to the rim and try to get that layup. That's her first priority. This first screen here, if she can get it set, that's great. It's not necessarily do or die type of thing though. But once that guard does cut through, she needs to follow her across. Now again, she's just kind of a decoy here to try to occupy her girl. Her job really is to do more of kind of, again, the dirty work and find some of the screens and rolls. If the point guard comes around on that, she can be the dump down for the post if her girl comes over and helps too much. Same thing with the first curl. Same thing really with the second curl. The 5 is always there as kind of a relief to try to help off and get those kind of sneaky backside shots that are kind of killers really. This is early offense. Again, just to get the ball moving, get some bodies moving. You're going to get the ball reversed at least twice, maybe a third time. Hopefully you'll get a really good look though.